Transport Pro allows you to view, void, and print checks with ease. Note that it is important to have your chart of accounts set up correctly before you do anything with checks. Also, you must confirm your check format with your Transport Pro customer service representative so we can get your installation set up correctly. Let's start by reviewing existing check details. Follow the path in the menu, Accounting, Checking Accounts, Checks, Search Checks. You can filter by specific criteria or just click Search to bring up a list of all checks in the system. The results will display general information, but if you want to review the check information in detail, you can click on the check number. A check summary will open and show detailed information about the check, including the check number, who the check was written to, and what settlement or invoices the check paid. If you need to change the check number, click on the Change Check Number link. The field will open for edit. Once you have entered the desired check number, click the green icon. The system will ask you if you're sure. Click OK. To print a check, Transport Pro has two separate check printing queues, one for settlements and one for general accounts payable checks. Let's look at the settlement checks first. Follow the path in the menu, Settlements, Print Queue, Settlement Checks. Note that your pop-up blocker needs to be turned off. The Settlement Check Print Queue window will open and display all of the checks that are ready to print. If you have multiple settlement checking accounts, you can filter by checking account or account type. By default, the system will iterate the check numbers starting with the next check number in sequence. You can change the check numbers here as necessary, and clicking the down arrow after changing a check number will renumber all of the checks on the screen. Then, check the box next to the check you need to print. Click the Print button. Clicking the Print button creates a PDF of all the checks that you selected to print. You can either open or save the file and print the checks. Once the check PDF is opened or saved, you will be redirected to a check confirmation page. Here, you need to complete one of two actions. 1. Click Save Record to confirm that the correct checks were printed, or 2. Check the Requeue or Cancel box by any check that did not print correctly. Checking this box will void the check number and put the check back into the print queue, where you can then edit the check number or remove the check from the queue. An example of when you may need to requeue a check is if it was printed upside down or incorrectly. If you do not click Save on the confirmation page to either confirm the printed checks or requeue the checks will not make it into the cash reconciliation queue. If you need to void a settlement check, you can do so via the Completed Settlement Report. Follow the path in the menu, Settlements, Reports, Completed Settlement Report. You must enter at least one type of search criteria, then click Get Report. Click on the Settlement ID to bring up the settlement summary. In the upper right-hand corner, click on the Void Settlement link. The system will ask you if you're sure. Click OK. For further details on voiding settlements, please see our Void a Settlement document. Now, let's go over how to do AP check printing. The process is essentially the same. Follow the path in the menu, Accounting, Accounts Payable, AP Check Print Queue. A list of all AP checks will be displayed. You can edit the check numbers if needed. When you change a check number, a green arrow will appear beside the check number. If you click on the green arrow, the subsequent check numbers will change to be in ascending order. You can delete a check from the queue by clicking on the scissor icon, or check the corresponding box out to the right and click the Print button to print. Just as with the settlement checks, you will be presented with a check confirmation screen. You will either need to save the record to confirm that the check printed correctly or requeue the check. If you need to void an AP check, do a search for checks, and then click on the ID number to bring up the check details. Click the Void This Check link on the check summary screen. The system will ask you if you're sure. Click OK. When you void a check, the system will reverse the accounting transactions and the paid status of the check. Therefore, the system puts the balance back on the items for which the check was used. Note that you cannot void a check if it has already been cleared with the bank. Once you confirm the printed settlement and AP checks, the checks transfer over to the cash reconciliation module. If you do not see these checks in the cash reconciliation module, you will need to check the unvalidated checks report. This report shows you if the checks are pending and gives you the option to print. You also have the option to push the checks to the cash reconciliation queue. Follow the path in the menu, Accounting, Checking Accounts, Checks, Unvalidated Checks Report. The window will open and display a list of all unvalidated checks. If you see Pending in the check number column, it means that the check has not printed. Check the reprint box next to the desired pending check, and then click Submit. This action will place the check back into the print queue so that you can print the check. If a check has not yet been printed, you will not have the option to check the Has Printed box. You will only be able to select Reprint. If you see the check number in the check number field, you may realize that you have in fact printed that check. When the check number is displayed here, you have the option to select the Has Printed box, meaning that you have already printed the check. When you select the Has Printed box and click Submit, the system sends the check to the cash reconciliation queue. In the case that you misplace a check but later find it and need to void it, you can manually void a check in the system. Follow the path in the menu, Accounting, Checking Accounts, Checks, Add Manual Voided Check. You will see that the status is already set to voided for you. Select the check type. Enter the check number. Enter the date written. The date will default to today's date, but you can edit this if needed. Enter a description and amount. Select the correct checking account from the drop-down menu. Note that you should already have your checking accounts entered in the system in order for them to be available in this drop-down. Based on which checking account you select, the checking GL to credit will auto-insert. Click Save. And that covers how to view, void, and print checks in Transport Pro. If you would like to schedule a demonstration or if you have any questions, please call us at 800-800-5917 or email us at info@transportpro.net. You can learn more about us by visiting our website www.transportpro.net. If you are ready to sign up, you can do so by visiting the features page of our website and clicking Learn More. Thank you for watching this video.